What's up, Phil?
What's up, Chris?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing awesome, man. How are you?
Doing good, good. It's good to be here with you, man, and thank you for inviting me out to your beach house. It's a beautiful view, as you can see. It's nice out here, huh?
Yeah, I love it.
Beautiful weather.
Yeah, perfect weather. Hope it's not too windy here for the video.
I know. Well, hey, I'll tell you what I wanted to do, just because you and I are friends, and I've had the opportunity of knowing you for several years, and just kind of learn from you and learn about what you do, and I've learned a lot from you as far as, you know, how to be successful, how to make money, how to get involved in real estate and all that kind of stuff. And you've become a good friend of mine, and I believe in you. And so I thought it would be good to get all your stuff on video, right?
Okay, yeah, definitely.
So,
I appreciate that.
do you want to take a minute to tell your story a little bit? Can you? What I want people to know about you is where you came from. You know, so if you can do me a favor and maybe kind of tell a story about your dad, how he was an entrepreneur and how he kind of created a legacy for you to kind of live and move forward with this.
Okay, yeah. So a lot of people don't know I grew up in Brazil on the mission field. My parents were missionaries in Brazil. My mom was born on the mission field as well. Her parents were missionaries. My mom and dad met in Baptist Bible College, Springfield, Missouri, and then they came down to Pasadena, Texas to intern there at Central Baptist Church. And we spent a couple of years there and then went back to Brazil and lived in Brazil for 10 years.
So your dad was like starting
things
they took
from
over, day one.
Yeah, they took over one of my grandparents' churches, and they also planted other churches as well. Churches that are still in existence today.
That's awesome. Can you tell me a little bit about when he came back to the States, the kind of businesses that he started, and
Sure.
how you maybe moved that toward how you got into real estate?
Yep. So when they came back to the States, they went and took over a Brazilian church in Houston, and ran the church there, kind of a small church, but and then my dad met a guy named Sam, and Sam had seen my dad's abilities, his artistic abilities, and his entrepreneur skills as well. And they decided to start a sign company together. That's when they started RS Graphics back in the early 90s, about 91, 92.
So you can say that your dad is the one that's kind of helped build some entrepreneurial passion and desire into your heart, I guess you could say.
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like the whole church planting, that's takes an entrepreneur spirit,
Yeah.
And then as well as starting the sign business. And when we came back from Brazil, we also brought a different business, with them from there, selling stone creations and stuff like that from Brazil. We imported and exported that kind of stuff too. So
like, I can sense, just from knowing you, your passion in real estate and what you do. Can you tell me, how you got to this point in real estate in maybe like 10 seconds, like 15 seconds? What is how did you get here? We're sitting in a $500,000 beach house. You're living in a $500,000 house, and that's really what people want to know is, how did you get here?
It all started when I was still in high school. My dream was to move to college and buy a house and rent out rooms to my friends and roommates and let them pay for the house, basically, by renting them rooms. So back in my senior year of high school, I ordered a Carlton Sheets, nothing down real estate course off of a late night infomercial and started studying real estate. I remember asking my dad what I'd need to do to be able to buy my own house, and his advice to me was to save up about 10% as a down payment. So I made that my goal. After graduating from high school, I was going to work for a year, go to college maybe part-time, and save up enough money to put a down payment on a house. And then that's when I was going to go to college, buy a house, and then rent out rooms to my roommates. And that's kind of where my journey began, just studying the real estate business and buying houses.
So as one thing led to another, obviously that didn't happen.
Right, that didn't happen.
You started making money.
Yeah.
And you told me, like last night when you and I were talking, you said you started getting these first checks of $10,000 and $15,000, and that set you on the path. You were like, hey, I can do this. I can make a lot of money doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of money to be made. We had, some pretty early on successes that were some good victories and good wins, flipping some quick deals and making some quick money, I would say in the first year, I made more money doing 2 or 3 deals in real estate than I made all year working my business,
So when I first met you, you lived in about a $300,000 house. Now you live in about a $500,000 house. You got about a $500,000 beach house, and you got about 38 other houses, right? So you own just a lot of real estate. And you've been very successful with this. This is what you love to do. This is your passion, and you want to help other people do this. But it's not come without struggle.
Oh, for sure.
Share a couple of the hard knocks that you've learned in this process.
You know, at the peak of our business, you know, back in 08, 09, before the market kind of crashed and self-corrected, which it needed to do, we had 57 houses. Okay.
Wow.
You know, going to different seminars and learning how to buy houses, it's allowed us to be really successful and accumulate a lot of properties. But when the market corrected itself back in 08, 09, we did have a lot of struggle, you know.
Yeah.
We ended up with some vacancies that we couldn't afford making payments on. We lost some houses to foreclosure. You know, we lost a lot of money. We went through a lot of stress and kind of put me in a state of depression. I got, you know, sued by some people, and
I remember you going through that. It was pretty tough.
Yeah, pretty tough lawsuit that we went through, you know. And you know, long story short, we've learned a lot in the 10, 15 years that we've been doing this now. And I feel like I've got a lot to offer people in terms of helping them not make some of the mistakes that I made. Right?
Yeah, and this is what I like about you. This is why I feel like I'm drawn to you as a friend. Is I feel like you're the real deal. You're a real person. You've experienced brokenness. You've experienced the bottom. You've experienced some difficulties in this market. But you just keep getting back up, and you keep learning from your experiences, and you keep moving forward. And I feel like you've learned a lot. I feel like you've gained a lot of insight, and you have a lot to offer. Can you tell me about, you know, to everybody out there listening, what can you bring to the table? I mean, how can you help others to get involved in what you're doing and maybe not experience some of the difficulties and tragedies that you've learned from?
Right. So I'm not one of these, you know, high-end real estate gurus. I'm not one of these guys that has a bunch of books and tapes and things like that to sell. Over the 10, 12 years I've been doing this, I've gone to a lot of these seminars. I've had the desire to maybe create my own products and information like that to help people, man. But, you know, I really just want to be able to help people, you know, one-on-one, and just kind of guide them. I need to know a little bit more about them, you know, to know where they're at and what their, you know, what their goals in life would be. And, you know, I feel like I could create a custom program for just about anybody based on their situation and what their goals are.
Yeah, and I like that about what you're doing, because you're not selling necessarily this prefabricated package deal that's a blanket, you know, and everybody has to kind of figure it out for themselves. You literally want to walk alongside these folks and help people to make money.
Right.
And what is it that you want for yourself out of this, and what is it that you want for those listening in out of this?
So what I want others to do is to get inspired, you know. I want them to know that if I can do it, they can do it.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff that I do, you know, recording conversations that I have with sellers, recording conversations that I have with potential buyers for these homes, I think should be something people should listen to encourage them to know that, man, if he can talk like that and get these deals, then I can too.
Yeah.
You know? There's plenty of books and tapes. I've got books and tapes. As partners of mine, I'm going to share information that I'm paying for. I continue with my education as well, you know, and having books and tapes and training that gives systems and creates systems for people to follow. You can use the stuff that I've already got. You don't have to pay the thousands of dollars, and I promise you I've spent well over $100,000 on real estate seminars and courses and training, and I have access to all of that, right? And as partners, I can share that stuff with you and show you the things that worked and what we're doing currently in our business. And as the market changes, we shift and we adjust what we're doing as well. So
there's some people out there that are listening and they're like, what do I need to do to get involved? Is this something that really is for me? Maybe they're slightly interested, but they're skeptical, or they're like, you know. So tell me really quick, what is it that you have to offer, and why should they buy into it?
Well, what I have to offer is the 13 years of experience, hundreds of deals that we've done, right? And I say that not to brag, but really just to let people know that they can follow a system. They can follow somebody that's gone down the path, right?
Yeah.
Rather they just want to, you know, keep their job.
What path?
Well, it depends on what you want to do, right?
Okay.
So there's going to be people out there that maybe they just want to own some rent houses and to add that to their retirement plan, right? I think everybody should own some rental properties as an investment strategy,
sure,
right? Diversify your portfolio, whether you're in the stock market or whatever other investments that you might have. I think everybody should have some rental properties, right? So there might be people that's all they want. They just want to know how to pick up a house or two a year for a few years to add to their retirement fund, right? There might be people that want to flip houses and totally make enough money to quit their job, right? And make enough money.
And when you say flip houses, you're not necessarily talking about going in and renovating an entire house.
No, not necessarily.
You may be talking about, so this is something that doesn't take people months and months or weeks, several weeks to do. It may take just a little bit of work, and then they can flip it pretty easily.
Sure. There's definitely strategies that involve, like what you see on TV, where they're buying a house out of a foreclosure, fixing it up, and then reselling it. You know, that's kind of the traditional sense of flipping houses, but there's a lot more to it than that. There's a lot of different strategies within the business, right? And depending on the seller situation and your goals, that'll kind of help us determine what the exit strategy is going to be per deal, right? So as an example, this just yesterday, you know, we flipped a house that we owned for less than 30 days. You know, we bought the house, took over the payments, we're able to get these people out of the house that were going through a divorce, and you know, we started marketing the house, and within 2 weeks we had 3 to 4 people that wanted the house, right? And so with very little effort, all we really did was clean out the trash that they left behind, took the trash to the curb, started marketing the house, right? And we got a full price offer and made a pretty significant amount of money.
$43,000.
$43,000.
That's
one deal.
In one deal. That's pretty good.
And we did no work to that.
So Phil, here's the deal. Here's what I want to know about you. You have 39 houses?
39, yeah.
39 houses. How much are you worth?
I don't know.
You don't know? You're worth a lot of money. But I'll tell you this, you've earned it, man. And honestly, I'm privileged to be here to just talk to you about this and help get the word out. Is there anything else that you want to leave these folks with before we kind of conclude this interview? I'm just going to hang out here and watch the view when we're done. So
and that's my goal, man, is just to encourage people to know that they can do it.
Do what?
There are proven systems out there that will allow anybody that has the desire to make money in real estate, whether you have money or credit or you don't have money or credit, you can do it. There are systems to do it, right? So if you don't have money, then it's going to take a little bit more time. It's going to take a little bit more work, right? If you have money, then you can use your money to create systems and put things in place that require less of your personal time and personal effort, right? But at the end of the day, man, I just want to encourage people and help people that.
That's what I like about this. It doesn't matter whether you have a lot of education, no education. It doesn't matter whether you have a lot of money, no money.
That's right.
It doesn't matter whether you have experience or no experience. You can get into this market, you can get into this field, and you can make some extra money. You can make a lot of money. You can make a living if you want.
Absolutely. And I've had the privilege of not having a real job my whole adult life, right?
Yeah.
I had a job in college, in between college, and then since then I've been self-employed. You know, we sold our business in 2003 to do real estate full-time, and we've never looked back. You know, we've gone through some struggles. We bought that business back, which really, you know, has added value to our lives and given us a place and a purpose, you know, and you know, we love what we do. We really do. It's a pleasure to be able to help people in situations that need to sell. You're right. There's this misperceived conception, right, that we're taking advantage of sellers that are down and we're you know, taking advantage of them, but they're not. You know, we're dealing with sellers that need to sell or want to sell, but they don't have the 3 to 6 months to wait for a real estate agent to list, market, and sell their house.
Yeah, sometimes it's an unfortunate situation for their end, but you're helping them get out of a tough spot.
Absolutely.
You know,
we're creating a solution for you. You know, that's a win-win situation for everybody.
Awesome. Well, Phil, thanks for your time, man. I really appreciate you sharing your story and getting the word out there, and hope we can get some people plugged into what you're doing and your program and some things that we have to offer for what you got, man.
I appreciate it.
Have a good day.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Better been recording, man.